you're going to see who are really behind the curtain, and you're going to start to trace those people and try to understand what's going on and stop them, basically.
We're looking at a little bit of, what is this, a hacking mechanic going on here?
Yeah, this is the hacking system. You can use it to unlock computers, to get to emails. You can also unlock doors, a secret passage. You can also turn some cameras off, or some robots as an ally and things like that. So with the hacking, you can really expand the possibilities within the game.
You guys have been talking a lot about choice being influential in the gameplay experience. What if you don't like hacking? How integral is it into the experience?
Right. The hacking is not forced on the player very often, and when it is, it's the minimum level of a hacking that you need. So if you choose to play Adam Jensen without investing any points into hacking, you won't be penalized for that. But if you really want to invest more, you can really expand the possibilities.
Are we looking at some gadgets that we're about to use here, or,
yeah.
or a sniper rifle? What are we shooting?
Here it's a silent sniper rifle, and what's happening is that the player wants to take the guard on the other side of the pool down. But right now there's a bobbing and everything, so he's going to go into his inventory, into his augmentation tree to add the stabilizer, so he's going to be more precise to shoot at the guy.
So this is really all about developing every aspect of the character, not just the story choices, but also obviously having a lot of depth to developing the character the way you want, right?
Absolutely. Like, choices are on all levels. Basically, there's the story, all the choices with some of the characters, but also how you decide to upgrade your character with augmentations, but with weapons as well, and everything. So it's on various levels.
Now, what if somebody's more action-oriented? Obviously, we've seen a lot of sneaking around, a lot of hacking, sniping, silent sniping. What if you really wanted to kind of go guns a-blazing? Is that an option as well?
Yes, you take the machine pistol, the combat rifle, and you get some augmentations like the Typhoon system, and you just go. You still need to be tactical, though, because the enemies can be very brutal. So, but you can use a lot of heavy firepower to get the job done.
Obviously, this franchise has been around for a long time, and it's a sort of a reinvention, also a reintroduction to people who haven't been around the Deus Ex franchise before. So what would you have to say in terms of appeasing fans of the franchise from before, but also introducing a new audience?
I think this Deus Ex Human Revolution, it's a real successor to the original Deus Ex. We went back to the roots of the franchise and really tried to understand what were the core values of that kind of game and whatnot, and this is what we tried to reproduce in our own terms, like with our own references and everything. And for the new fans around, I think, like, if they're into action RPG, like story-driven games with a lot of possibilities and be very creative in the way they solve problems, I think it's going to be a game to look for.
Have you gotten a lot of feedback from old fans of the franchise in terms of what they think about the look and feel of the game so far?
Yes, everybody that saw it, like, that they were fans of the old game, they were like, okay, this is a real Deus Ex game. And for us, it's the best compliment that we can have.
All right, well, I've obviously given you a lot of questions, but Justine, what questions do we have from the GT community?
Well, we've got a bunch of questions from Facebook and Twitter. Are you ready for these? Okay, because they're going to get pretty intense here. First one here from Lenny H on Facebook. Will we meet any characters from the first game?
Probably, and if you watch the trailers that we released recently, you already see one.
Ooh.
Which the trailers are amazing, by the way. I got to give you a lot of credit. They're awesome.
Will Deus Ex Revolution be able to have DLC later in the future?
It's a subject that we're not commenting at this point. The only thing I will say is that we're really dedicated to take care of the franchise on the long run.
Daniel C. on Facebook wants to know if you guys are planning to support the mod community.
At this point, there's no plan, but it doesn't mean that in the future we won't go with something.
Okay, let's see what else.
All right, you got one question left, Justine.
I do.
Tell us
okay,
what
let's make it a good one. All right, they love the first Deus Ex. The second one, not so much. But what does Human Revolution have in common with the first game?
A lot of things. We went back, tried to recapture the spirit of the original with strong characters, but also giving a strong background to the main character. We also went in depth in terms of possibilities with augmentations, with weapons as well, like with upgrades, with ammo and things like that. So we didn't took the route of saying, like, oh, it's going to be on all platforms, let's simplify things. We didn't do that. We wanted to make sure that the depth and the complexity of the game was easy to understand and get into.
That's awesome.
Excellent. Well, I think it's looking and sounding great, Jeff. We appreciate your time. Thanks so much for stopping
Thanks.
by.
Pleasure.
Let's head over to Jeff right now, who's got an exclusive look at Prey 2.
Thank you very much, Daniel. The countdown to the Sony briefing is on, and we've got a couple more demos for you, but believe it or not, wow, it's pretty cool. We are only about 25 minutes away from the start of the Sony briefing, 23 minutes to be exact, with Uncharted 3, Resistance 3, the NGP, if hopefully the official name and launch date, and a bunch of other surprises from Sony. We actually have a special surprise from Sony coming after the briefing, only on GT Live. So stay tuned for that. But right now I'm here with Chris Reinhardt from Human Head in for E3 to show us Prey 2. We had the amazing CG trailer last week actually on GTTV, and now you've got the real game. So Chris, tell us about this game. We're seeing some live gameplay behind you here. First question I think everyone wants to know is, you're not playing Tommy in this.
You're not Tommy.
Yes.
Tommy's still very much part of the Prey universe,
Right.
but for Prey 2, we want to explore a brand new part of the universe. Take you to, because like Prey 1 was about taking you to a place, to a world you hadn't really seen before, gameplay you hadn't really played before. Want to do that with the sequel, take you to a new part of the Prey universe.
Right.
So
And
you
no
play
portals either, right?
No portals. No
These are
portals.
big changes, Chris.
Big changes. You play a badass bounty hunter in a Blade Runner-like universe. It's really, really cool.
So what are the links to Prey then? I mean, because a lot of people say, well, no portals, no Tommy. How is this Prey?
Well, it's Prey because we're kind of exploring both sides of the Predator-Prey relationship.
Okay.
So Prey 1, Tommy was the Prey. Prey 2, the new character, Killian Samuels, he gets to be the hunter.
Okay.
So and another big aspect of the connection between the two is, of course, Tommy himself. We're not going too much into Tommy.
You're
like
going to be
his
hunting
role.
Tommy?
I don't want to go into that.
Okay.
But Tommy's definitely very much a part of the game.
So we will hear more about Tommy. Tommy
Absolutely,
has not been
absolutely.
forgotten about. The portals have been forgotten.
There are no portals in Prey 2.
No portals. All right. Laying that on the line. Now, let's take a look at this world. I mean, it's amazing. It matches the CG that we saw last week really well. So you're in this, this Blade Runner-esque world. And I know as a bounty hunter, obviously, missions are important, earning money,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah. Well, a big part of it is like what you're seeing here is we're going after one particular type of alien. This is kind of a mafia-like guy by the name of Dugar, and he's got the ability to teleport. So you have to use, and the player cannot teleport. So
Right.
you have to use the full range of your abilities. Like right now, we're using shoulder-mounted rockets to try to kill a bunch of his henchmen.
Wow.
Dugar can teleport away, and the player has to use these cool parkour abilities to chase him down. Like he's going to chase him into a casino here, and then try to capture Dugar. So as you're going after him, you have to like always stay close to the target because he could possibly get away. So, like I said, you have to like slide under.
So
things and
is
leap
this
through
game,
stuff.
I mean, really just, finding targets, hunting them down, sort of, is it a chase game, or how would you describe the game?
Chase is a big component of it. Yeah,
Okay.
it's not just chase. I mean, chase is one big part of it. I mean, as a bounty hunter, there's a lot of different missions you take. You could take chase missions, you could take assassination missions, you could take
Right.
like recovery missions where you go after like an innocent and try to recover him from someone who's, say, holding him hostage, that type of thing.
Wow. So as you go through this, you obviously have different types of aliens. This part of the game, where are we seeing? Is this early in the game?
This is maybe around 25% of the way through the game. So the players acquired like a whole bunch of different gadgets and gear and weapons at this point. So, but this particular level this is just like one fraction of all the different levels in the game. So.
Right. Lots of high-stakes action. Now, how do you acquire these targets? Or, as a bounty hunter, how do you get your targets? All the storytelling is done, obviously, in-engine, right?
Yeah, there's a couple of different ways you get the targets. I mean, one of the main ways is by taking missions. Clients will contact you and say, hey, I need a bounty hunter to go and capture or kill this particular guy. So you could do that. The other way is there's a lot of different scum and alien criminals throughout this world. So as you're wandering around kind of exploring the world, you'll come across them. They're just like hanging out in a bar, or they're gambling, or they're like trying to shake someone down for money. You'll find them, and then you can track them down and take them down.
So do you always have to take down the alien? You have to kill them, or are there different options about how you're going to
You've got
take
different
them?
options. You can capture them, you can kill them.
Right.
Some guys are wanted alive, some are alive or dead, so you get to choose how you take them down.
Right.
You might get more money if you capture them alive versus dead.
And what are you going to do with all this money?
Upgrade yourself. You
Okay.
get cool weapons, cool gadgets. You can use it for bribes because there are various characters. Well, they might have information about other bounties. You might have to threaten them to try to get the information, or if you want to try to take the more honorable route, you could try to bribe them and get the information that way instead of, the kind of threatening route.
Now, the targets obviously get more difficult as you move on in the game. How does the gameplay change, though?
Throughout the game?
Yeah.
The gameplay changes based upon, like, as I get different gadgets and gear, there's a lot of different types of bounties. Like the one we're showing today is a teleporting bounty. We've got bounties that have a lot of different kind of crazy alien freaky abilities that the player doesn't have.
Can you acquire those abilities, though? Are they sort of innate to the characters, or like teleporting, can you acquire a device that
You
allows you
don't
to
get
acquire?
teleporting, no,
Okay.
but that's innate to certain characters. But there
Okay.
are some of the abilities they have that you do get in terms of
Okay.
like the types of gadgets that you have.
Any examples you can give us?
not without kind of spoiling some of the gadgets we haven't revealed yet.
Okay.
So I'll give you the closest thing. The player gets the ability to get hover boots, so he can kind of hover around in different areas, and there are certain characters that can do that.
That's cool. So you take down the bounty, and that's part of the reward. Not just dollars, but you get something cool, right?
Yeah, you can get upgrades and gadgets and all that stuff.
Well, fantastic. It's very cool. This is Prey 2, and it is coming out, I guess, next year, right?
2012.
2012 from Human Head. For what platforms?
The big ones: PlayStation 3, 360, and PC.
Awesome. Well, Chris, have a great E3. It was
Thank
great
you.
to see the Prey trailer last week, and pretty sweet to see the
Great to
game
see you,
right
Jeff.
now. We will see you again soon. Now, the Sony conference is coming up really soon, and earlier today, if you missed it, we world premiered a brand new trailer for Resistance 3. They'll have a level in the press conference, but we got the trailer first. We're going to take a look at that again right now. Check it out.
We all prayed for the end. And finally, the war is over. Outnumbered and outgunned, they took everything from us. Our friends. Our families. Our humanity. But now it's time. To take it all back. Get out of here!
All right, guys, thank you so much for all of your fantastic tweets. And in case you don't know how to talk to us on Twitter, you follow us at Game Trailers, and be sure you're hashtagging all of those tweets as GTE3 so that we're able to see all of those. Now, most of you guys are looking forward to Uncharted and this wonderful Sony press conference that is coming up here shortly. I'm going to read a few of your comments here on Facebook. Josh S. says, can't wait to see what they do with the NGP, or whatever it's called. Come on, Sony. I'm a Sony fanboy, so make me proud. JS on Facebook says Ridge Racer, NGP. Daniel Solis says Kevin Butler. Gerard C on Facebook says new games for NGP or the PlayStation Move. I am definitely excited for some more PlayStation Move games. I'm a huge Kinect fan, but PlayStation, there's just something about using actual controllers that is definitely a little bit different than using the Kinect. And we have here David N. says on Facebook, I look forward to Uncharted and Resistance 3, being a great fan and being able to play the other games. And I'm also looking forward to seeing what the NGP is going to be called as well. Keep on tweeting me, guys. Just hashtag GTE3, and don't forget to keep tweeting so that I'll have some more fantastic questions. And I will see you guys here soon. Let's head to Jeff.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Justine. Well, Daniel and I are here with one of the top video game journalists out there, the editor-in-chief of Kotaku, Brian Crescenti. Brian, you've been all over E3, finally joining us now as we count down to the Sony press conference, which is about 15 minutes away now. This is a big one. We had Xbox this morning, obviously, with a lot of news, but Sony, they've got, a game that I think everyone knows is sort of my personal favorite, Uncharted 3. Drake's Deception. We unveiled it at the VGAs. They've shown some great gameplay since then. But there are actually sequences in that VGA trailer they still haven't shown. A lot of stuff based in the water. There's rumors that the game's going to open in like a pub in London. And there are all these little pieces of the puzzle out there. What do you guys think of Uncharted 3? Are you as excited about it as I am?
I think, I'm a huge Uncharted fan. I love the first one. The second one completely blew me away. I think the third one's going to be even better. I'm not sold on the 3D. I'm not sold on the necessity of playing that game in 3D, but you know what? I don't care. It doesn't need 3D. I can just play the game without it, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
What about you, DK? I know you're partial to Mass Effect and things like that.
No, I like Uncharted as well, and I'm totally stoked for Uncharted 3. I think the interesting thing about that game, for me, the most interesting aspect is we've seen Naughty Dog's ability to deliver an awesome, engaging single-player experience, and now they're going completely after the multiplayer experience. I mean, they have ramped that aspect of the game up so much. I almost wonder if it's going to supersede the importance of the single
Well,
player?
that's a good question because they have spent a lot of time on multiplayer. We saw co-op last week on GTTV. They're pushing in that direction. So many of these games now, they have so many elements: the single player, the co-op, the multiplayer. It's hard to imagine how they get these all done without something being sacrificed.